And good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to High Top Sports Network's presentation of WPIAL Class 5A Section 1 Varsity Baseball opening day here at Armstrong Junior Senior High School. Riverhawks taking on the Plum Mustangs. My name is Josh Schreckengost. I can't believe we went so deep into basketball season with those Marion Center girls that, you just blink and it's baseball season now. So we only got the one camera at the moment. I'm going to be working on a solution here, but what I'm going to try and do is just, I know it's pulled far out, but I was able to kind of get it to focus on the field there. It's just a matter of being able to adjust this very fine-tuned piece of equipment. I'll do my best for that at the moment. As I said, I know it's far away, not what you're used to. We have other cameras that we're planning to implement this year behind the plate, and I'll get you your scoreboard there in a second. But I'm going to try and move. It's so windy up here. I'm sure you can hear it on my microphone coming through. It's just darn near impossible to keep anything in place. So we're going to slide down the table just a bit and see if we can do a little something and keep her balanced and in place. I know, as I said, I'm sorry about this. Other cameras not with me right now. So this guy is pulling the duty, even though he's not really meant for this type of work. He's doing it anyways, and that's what we like. We like team players here at High Top, even if they're pieces of electronic equipment. All right, I'm gonna get that hopefully leveled for you so you can see into the batter's box there. That's about as good as I can get it in terms of zooming it in. I wanted to keep it down here because it seems like when it's down there you can see more of the action. I know, folks, blow it up full screen, whatever you got to do. Those particular players out there, I swear to you, they're players. I'm actually, according to the legendary Ed Morris, 514 feet away from home plate where I'm set up. But we're trying some new stuff this baseball season here at Armstrong. So this is not going to be the look that you're getting throughout the season. In the past, we've had the two camera setup up here, one zoomed in on the batter's box, and then one similar to this where you can see the entire field. Again, it's not going to look like this during the season, but opening day, hey, you got to shake off the rust. Like I said, we went very deep into basketball season, deeper than we've ever gone in terms of pooling our resources to do just strictly basketball. And that is, it's kind of no excuse making, as there's a ground out right there. We're in the second inning, by the way. I'll get you updated on all that stuff, but just kind of wanted to give you a lead in and let you know that oh boy, I did bring a phone charger. Lucky me, because my phone's going to die and I have the game changer on there, so I need this. But luckily I have one on me, so one of the few things that you should always keep in your pocket is a phone charger. So I'll get you updated here once I get the game changer caught up. I was fiddling with this camera, and we already missed the first inning, so I wanted to get it on here as soon as possible. But I'll give you the rundown here just as quickly as I can, thanks to Ryan Bowser State Farm, our official broadcast partner for this afternoon's contest. Jake Canish, thankfully, just sending me the Armstrong roster here. At the beginning of the season, it's like, everybody's trying to catch up from the last season ending. Winter sports ending. You're supposed to have every WPIAL school and their roster is supposed to be on there at the beginning of a particular season, and there were about 3 for all of the WPIAL in baseball. So everybody running a little behind. So we'll get the game changer pulled up here on ye old phone. And scoreless here. It's asking me to go live. Hey, I'm already live in a different place. I'm not going live on this. So we get past that. Oh boy. Well, that's why it's asking me to go live, is because the internet situation up here on top of the hill for the opposing teams and for the home team, really, in terms of running their game changer, which is the only way, me being as far away as I am, I can keep it up to date. Oh, it just popped up. See, I was about to try and make an excuse, but none needed. Oh, game changer was a different look this year. That's pretty cool. So right now we are in the bottom of the second. Riverhawks up. There is a strike in there that is going to make it 0-2 on Ian Harkleroad. He is the number 8 hitter for the Riverhawks in this game. I believe he's playing center field. That's generally his position. Sorry again, that wind is just kind of wreaking havoc on the little camera. So I'm trying to get it secured for you there. So Harkleroad up, nobody on, 2 down here, bottom of the second. We are scoreless, as I mentioned. These two teams, section foes, and that ball is in there, called strike 3, and Watson mows down Harkleroad to retire the side. So scoreless, heading to the top of the third inning. Plum coming up to bat. And while we have a moment, let's take just a quick second to thank one of our great sponsors here, Armstrong Indoor Athletics.
Armstrong Indoor Athletics, located at 132 South Grand Street Avenue in downtown Katanning, offers a state-of-the-art training facility and top-tier instruction by experienced coaches to help turn your youngster into the best baseball or softball player they can be. Batting cage and bullpen lane rentals are available for 30 to 60-minute sessions, and you can also sign your baseball or softball player up for private hitting, pitching, fielding, and catching instruction with our knowledgeable staff. Be sure to visit Armstrong Indoor Athletics online at aia.team or call them at 724-599-976.
Whoops, I accidentally cut that off. Warm-up pitch is still being thrown there. I didn't mean to cut it off, and now my audio is back way loud again. Sorry about that. Sometimes equipment can get a little bit wonky, and some of you folks out there may know we had a pretty devastating fire back in October. We lost a lot of stuff. I would say 90% of our equipment in our office space, amongst other things. Sadly, our 2 high-top cats, Scrappy and Cruz, also perished in that fire. It was pretty devastating. And, I remember growing up, I was a kid, a bad thing would happen. You'd put it into your insurance, bada boom, bada bing, they make you whole. That's what insurance is for. And it is just, we're in a time right now where every company, big, small, $1 trillion, mom and pop, whatever, everybody's understaffed, everybody's overworked, and High Top Sports Network has yet to receive their, reimbursement, I guess, for all the equipment lost. And I got to tell you, Joe Rhodes and I have been holding it together with gum bands and bubble gum. And we've been using what equipment we had that was luckily out. It was the last week of football season, so we had some equipment out with some of our broadcast teams as that ball is fouled away. We had some equipment, some older, I guess, equipment that we had right when we started High Top Sports Network. So the stuff was outdated technology-wise, but we still had some stuff laying around, and pretty much everything we have needed since then we've bought out of pocket on our own. Just waiting for the day that insurance check comes and we can purchase the stuff that is used to giving you the quality that you see on a regular basis here. So I appreciate you bearing with us, not just today, but throughout the course of the last few months since late October. It's been challenging, but as I tell people that ask me, Oh, wow, you guys are still going. You're still doing it. Yeah, we're still doing it. It's going to take more than a structure fire to stop high top. So we're still plugging away. And we are doing our absolute best. So I appreciate you bearing with me this camera angle. Not exactly what I'd like to give you today, but you can see it on the field. You can see it there. I got it pretty stable, I think. It hasn't been blowing around. The wind not heavy, or I should say not strong up here today, as strong as it normally is. In fact, Joe Rhodes and I, we joke quite a bit because generally in March, when I'm up here broadcasting, whether it be baseball or softball, I'm catching terrible weather. It's just, I don't know if I have like a weather bug or some kind of jinx, but I've been snowed on 3 years in a row, and I got to tell you, that ain't happening today. 60 and sunny at game time here. On top of the hill, Buffington Drive, Manor Township, Pennsylvania, splitting the distance between Katanning and Ford City. That ball ripped through the right side, base knock. Plum's got a little something cooking right now. Late throw to third there and in safely, stretching from first to third on that single. The Mustangs bring it around, and my game changer is a little slow here, so still has Plum out there in the field, so we know that's not happening. I don't know. Maybe I can. Well, I will tell you who's on the hill, and that's Carson Delano. So he's in a jam right now for the first time here in the third inning. Delano, runners at first and third, nobody out. And a little fake pickoff right there by Delano. Riverhawks, they made the playoffs last year. It was the first time in a while, I believe since 2016 or 17. For some reason I want to say 17, but I think it was 16. I'm not 100% sure, but it's been a while. But the Riverhawks got into those WPIAL playoffs under first-year manager Vincent Santelmo, and that ball skied to left field. Probably no play at the plate. That's deep enough. Strong throw, but cut off in the infield. So sacrifice fly there gets Plum on the board. But the Riverhawks lost a ton in terms of pitching. Dustin Coleman, Hayden Brink. That's a 1-2 punch that can keep you competitive. And their section really is kind of murderer's row. Plum, Fox Chapel. You got Penn Trafford. Some really tough teams. So the Riverhawks going to have to make do with what they got in terms of the arms that they're going to use this year. So you see a lot of Delano. Rory Pashear, who's out there and left, and he was the one that just gunned that in there. Strong throw, but cut off by Delano. He'll be getting a lot of innings this year. Was actually our High Top Sports Network Breakout Player of the Year last year, as voted on by you, the fans. And Joe and I got a vote too. I can't say it was all you guys. It was me and Joe. We had a little something to say about it too, but pretty much I don't think I think there was one tiebreaker, maybe two, out of all the categories. So Joe and I didn't flex our decision-making muscles very much for the first ever High Topper Awards, second annual, going to be coming up here in the summertime. We got some great things planned for that, so be on the lookout. I think it'll be pretty darn cool. So Plum on the board first here. My game changer still not updating, but I know it's 1-0. See if we can. No, but still. That's one thing. Sometimes you'll get. I say I'm following Armstrong's game changer right now, and it's frozen. And sometimes it does that. It's just because of the video, or excuse me, because of the internet down there. It's spotty at best. And what happens is, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to try and jump over to Plum on the game changer and see if, some teams, they'll bring a hotspot. They'll kind of have their own way to be able to run the game changer. So that's what I'm going to try and do right now. But now, 2 Mustangs on, first and second. Here, just one away. All right. Okay, let me find the Plum Varsity Mustangs. Here we go. And that ball fired in there for a strike by Delano. Game stream. And Delano already up to 44 pitches and right now at the plate, I believe, with runners on first and second, one away. That is Anderson for the Mustangs. And, yep, 0-1 the count. So we're caught up here on the Plum side. Maybe I can jump back to the Riverhawks game stream here. Because one good thing about Game Changer, and I really think, just doing what we do, I mean, it's such a huge help for us as broadcasters to be able to bring you stats and information. Ground ball foul down the third baseline. That'll be strike 2 on Anderson. But it allows us the opportunity to put context with these games, bring you stats. How a certain kid has been playing, how they've been hitting, have they been hot, have they been cold, how do they hit lefties. So all that stuff, when we become an admin of Game Changer, we're allowed to check out all those splits, and it's really cool. It allows us the chance to bring you more info. There's a throw by Harkle Road, cut off, and 2-0 Plum. Just like that, some base hits sneaking through the Armstrong infield. And Plum has a couple on the board. Still gonna.
Girls high jump, please.
There we go.
Girls high jump to the pit for check-in.
Well, Delano is now facing Watson. I'm going to try and get the Mustangs logo. Logo. I was downloading the logo. Try and get the Mustangs roster here. Maybe Max Preps will have a roster. As I said, they were not on the WPIAL site. Jake Canish, Armstrong co-athletic director, told me, he goes, look, nobody has it. We don't even have it yet. So he forwarded me a copy of his roster. So I have the Armstrong roster here, but I'm trying to get some first names and see what years these guys are. Plum baseball, here we go. All right, well, we got some first names. 23-24, this looks to be Jack Anderson. All right. Don't have his year, his position, or his height and weight, but we got his first name. Hopefully there are no other Jay Andersons on the team. And there are not. So Jack Anderson up now. Runners, well, there's only one runner on now. Second base for the Mustangs. 2-1 count here. Delano. Well, they got Watson up now. Oh, it's catching up. Well, sorry, Jack. I think Jack was actually the guy who had the RBI single, if I'm not mistaken. Well, they got him. That was, who we got here? Runners. Well, out on that rundown at second base. That was Jake Domkowski getting caught there. Delano turned, and Domkowski, I don't know if he was running or just trying to get a bigger secondary lead, but he was way off the bag, and Delano turned, and that was an easy out for Armstrong, so Riverhawks catch a break there. And now Delano trying to get out of this inning. Curveball misses low. A couple of runs on the board for the Mustangs. Delano fires over to first base. Ooh, man, nice play over there by Logan Badak. Able to snag that ball as Anderson, who did have that RBI single, jumps back in. And Logan, I mean, if you follow High Top Sports Network, you know Logan. He's our guy, one of our own. Did a bunch of basketball games for us this winter. We love Logan. He's a great kid, involved in multiple activities here at Armstrong Junior Senior High School. And guess what? Also played Danny Zuko in the school production of Grease. So Logan, showing off the acting chops there. I'm going to have to ask him, did he study Travolta to get the Zuko down just perfectly? I didn't get to see the musical myself, but I heard it was a great show. Sold out. Every performance was sold out. So Logan Badak able to put some butts in the seats there in the auditorium. But just a great kid, and we love Logan. He's so clutch. He and his younger brother Liam really helping out a lot in basketball season. And one of the coolest things that Logan, I think, was a part of, while wearing the high top uniform, I guess you could say, was that he got to call Jack Valasak's 1,000th point. And he and Jack are very close friends, grew up together. So that was, I think, a very unique moment that you can only find here on High Top Sports Network. Fellow classmate getting to call, a milestone like that for Jack, the 1,000th point. And you could hear some emotion in Logan's voice, and he apologized to me afterwards. He said, I kind of got a little choked up there. I'm sorry. It's not really professional to do on the air. I said, are you kidding me? I said, that's what made it great. It was heartfelt. It was genuine. And it was extremely well called. If you go back and watch that game, you can find it on our YouTube page. It was the final game of the season for the Riverhawks boys team, and Valasak needed 3 points. He hit a 3, and they stopped the game. And I just really feel like Logan's call was just indicative of the young man that he is. Very genuine kid, and proud to call him a high topper. He certainly is great at what he does. And I told him, I said, even if you don't make a career out of this, which you easily could, I said, feel free to stop back anytime, man. There's always a place at high top for Logan. All right, Riverhawks going to start it off here in the bottom of the third, now down 2-0. And Armstrong, we're going to get some... Well, we got Kinter at the plate right now leading off. Nick Kinter. Played second base mostly last year. I'm going to check the box score to see where he's at. And yes, indeed, Kinter hitting 9 today, and also playing that second base position. That pitch just off the outside corner. Good delivery right there by Watson, the starting pitcher for the Mustangs today. We'll pull that back up, get that roster. And Watson retires Kinter on the strikeout. Watson, that was his 35th pitch here, working in the bottom of the third inning of this WPIAL Class 5A Section 1 varsity baseball matchup. Riverhawks were canceled. Their opener was supposed to be last week, early in the week. Obviously, pretty darn cold here in western Pennsylvania. They were canceled. And got to play an exhibition against Freeport at Community Park down there in Freeport on Friday, and they squeaked out a 9-8 victory over Ed Carr's Yellow Jackets. So Armstrong coming into this game 1-0. That's not what I wanted. And at the plate right now is Chase Jablonski. A very nice athlete here. Multi-sport athlete, and Jablonski goes down looking. Boy, quick work there by Watson. I click a couple of buttons on the mouse and look at a different screen, and boy, Watson mowing him down. And let's just check it out here real quick. See what Watson's line is so far. Well, that was his 5th strikeout already. And drops a curveball in there. That looked good, but I don't believe he got that call. So Watson now working to Carson Delano, his mound counterpart. That ball low and outside, so a 2-0 count here to Delano. So if you just hear me go silent here for a second or two, folks, just know that I'm working on trying to enhance the broadcast just a little bit. And a swing and a miss right there. So back even after falling behind 2-0. Watson trying to get out of this inning. And high heat right there. Delano lays off, full count. And Nationwide Logistics is our full count sponsor. And a swing popped up, and it's going to get out of play beside the Plum dugout there. Another Nationwide Logistics full count pitch. That one fouled back to the screen. So the count will remain full. And plenty of great sponsors on the network once again this year. Love those people that sponsor in the spring because, as you know, ball on the corner and they ring them up. Delano down on strikes. That is strikeout number 6 for Watson. And Delano, I don't know. I mean, I can't, like I said, I'm 514 feet away here. I can't really tell whether that was a ball or a strike. It was perfectly placed. I mean, Watson delivered and hit his catcher right in the glove and behind the plate. For the Mustangs is Anthony Jump. What a last name. And he framed it perfectly. I mean, he set that glove up inside on Delano. Delano obviously looking out over the plate, and Jump. I mean, Watson threw it into the glove right where Jump had it positioned. So we got strikeout number 6 for Colin Watson, having a pretty strong performance through the first 3 innings for these Plum Mustangs. And I'm going to take a quick commercial break here and get little liquid, hydrate the vocal cords just a touch, and I'll be right back as we head to the top of the 4th on High Top Sports Network.
In life, some things just go together, like a burger and fries, and home and auto insurance from State Farm. Combine and save.
In Ford City, talk to State Farm agent Ryan Bowser today.
Steffi's Country Catering prepares home-style made-from-scratch dishes that will have you convinced Mom made it. Whatever the occasion, Steffi's Country Catering will have you coming back for every event year-round. Find us on Facebook to place an order or to see our Sunday specials, or call 724-54-85047.
And welcome back, High Top Sports Network. Josh Reckengoss with you here. Opening day for this WPIAL Class 5A Section 1 Armstrong Riverhawks team, Plum Mustangs. The opponent, they'll be down at Plum tomorrow. And I kind of like that about the WPIAL and the way they do doubleheaders, home at home, right back to back. You face that team. And last year the Riverhawks really, they really did something incredible against Plum. Again, early in the season, it was like this. The weather, definitely not as nice as it was for that game. Well, I mean, it is now. It definitely was not nice last year. In fact, it was kind of cold. And the game went 10 innings. And Braden Wright came in from first base and pitched 4 shutout innings, kept Plum off the board, and then Wright himself launched a walk-off home run in the bottom of the 10th. One of the best plays we got to see last year in any sport. Certainly worthy of a High Topper award was Braden's moonshot to end it, and I was joined here on the landing at Armstrong Stadium by former Armstrong baseball head coach Edward, well, I guess it's Charles Edward Morris. No, he doesn't go by Charles, he goes by Ed. But he was up here and he called it. And he goes, how about a walk-off right here? And I'm thinking, how about it? Because I was frozen, and we had to finish the leader times for that night, and it was getting late in the day. It was almost 7 o'clock. Oh, good pitch by Delano. Snap throw down, but back in time. He is the Plum base runner after drawing a leadoff walk down there at first. That's Lafferty. So I'm interested to see how long Coach Santelmo lets Delano go. He's up to 56 pitches. Good breaking ball right there. Fouled way in front of it. Excuse me, they got Lafferty. No, that's catching up. Sorry. So Lafferty down there made his way down on a walk, I believe. And right now the catcher, Anthony Jump, at the plate. And off and running is Lafferty. He's going to beat the throw down. Safe in there with a Steffi's Country Catering stolen base. Lafferty gets a good jump on that pitch to Jump. And swipes second base, testing the arm of Mills behind the plate there for the Riverhawks. And Mills got rid of it quickly, but just too good of a jump by Lafferty. That throw gets away at shortstop, but that wasn't Jablonski's fault or Mason Schreckengoss's fault either, really. Tough to assign blame to the Riverhawks for that ball going to the screen. It was really a good job by Lafferty sliding in the way of Jablonski's throw over to Schreckengoss. They were trying to get that lead runner and keep a runner out of scoring position, keep a runner off the bases. Would just be Jump then down there at first, but as it were, Plum now has runners at the corners, and the big lefty Franzi at the plate. Delano delivers that one right in the power alley, and Franzi gives it a ride deep left center field. That ball is in the gap, and it rolls between Harkle Road and Bashir, and that's going to bring in two more Mustangs. The big lefty Franzi gives that fastball out over the plate, a ride to left center field, and it is a huge left center field out here for a high school stadium at Armstrong. And Franzi got the sweet spot of the bat on that ball. Let me tell you, he didn't miss it, and that's a home run in a lot of places, I got to tell you, because when he hit it, I'm like, well, that's gone. But then you remember just how gigantic it is here in the power alley to left center field. But again, it may keep the ball in the ballpark, but those outfielders, both of whom, Harkle Road and Bashir, have good speed. But there was just no way. I mean, Franzi ripped that ball, and it ended up about 5 feet short of the fence out there in left center field, split the outfielders, and Lafferty and Jump both come around on the 2-run double 4-0 Plum here in the top of the fourth. Still nobody out. Carson Delano on the mound for the Riverhawks. And at the plate, this is Eric Strusnig. I hope I said that right. Streusnig, maybe? I don't know. It's definitely German. You don't get those EU double S's in many other languages. Delano kind of falling away in that delivery. And I'll tell you what, if you're falling off to the side right there, the one main thing that it does, instead of going straight toward the plate, it takes velocity off the fastball. And if you're trying to get it by a hitter as experienced and as powerful as a guy like Franzi, I mean, you got to be bringing everything you have straight forward to the plate. And, yeah, I mean, I've been watching Delano. He doesn't do it. So it was obviously, just a minor glitch right there when he delivered Now a 3-0 count here. Struesnig or Stroisnig, I don't know. And ball just low off the outside corner. 4-pitch walk, and now Delano. Well, I can see Coach Santelmo, and he hits the door. He's going to come out and see if we get a change here. Bashir not coming in from left, so it's not going to be him. And let's see if Coach Santelmo takes the ball or if he's just going to have a couple of words with his starter, Carson Delano. And it looks like Coach Santelmo just kind of talking things over, and I was looking down to see if anybody was warming up. Didn't see anybody down there. To that left field side where the Armstrong pitcher to be would be warming up. Nobody down there. So it looks like Coach Santelmo is going to stick with Carson Delano and see if we can't get out of this inning. What the Riverhawks need right now is a hard hit ground ball right at somebody and can flip the deuce. And hopefully, you keep it maybe a hard ground ball to Schreckenglass down there at third, step and throw. Something like that would be great for Armstrong right now. But as it stands, 4-0, nobody out, 2 runners on for the Stangs. Yes, I call them the Stangs because my Little League team was named the Mustangs, and everybody called us the Stangs. Plus, I drove a couple of Mustangs in my life, and the first one was obviously the Power Stang. So, no disrespect meant by cutting the nickname of the Plum mascot short. I think Stangs is actually a compliment, but hey, that's just me. And looking to bunt right now. Squares it, gets it down the left field line. Perfectly placed. Bunt's going to advance both runners, and getting down there is Vollmer. So bases loaded, nobody out right now. Plum making moves. The Mustangs, or Stangs, if you'd like to call them that, hey, make it happen. They have the bases loaded, nobody out here in the fourth. And, right after Coach Santelmo came out, and I think he was probably expecting the bunt too, honestly. That's probably what he came out to kind of just instruct the infield about. But, boy, Vollmer, you can't place it anymore perfectly. You catch it and roll it down there. It wouldn't be any better than the bunt he was able to put down. And he beats it out. That would have been it would have had to have been gotten rid of very quickly because Delano was the Riverhawk player who ended up fielding the ball. All of his momentum is carrying toward the Armstrong dugout, so he had to stop and plant or throw against his body. Vollmer, so he's got some wheels down there. Excuse me, pardon me. Wow, that yawn came out of nowhere. And I tell you, it's the sun. But Vollmer's got some wheels and able to get down there quickly. So, Delano thought better of trying to throw and get an out right there because more likely would be a ball maybe in the dirt that Badak can't handle, or a bad throw that maybe gets over Badak, or a lot of bad things can happen right there if Delano tries to rush that. By him holding on to it, that keeps the bases loaded, and that one's skied to center field. Harkleroad battling the swirling winds. He's under it. He's got it. Harkleroad winds up, fires. Good throw to the plate, cut off. And, doubtful, very doubtful that he would have gotten Franzi, but I'll tell you what, Harkleroad positioned himself nicely, and as I said, battling the swirling winds, that's one thing that you always have to take into account here at Armstrong. It's just a wind tunnel, especially at this time of year. Spring, everything is wacky as it is weather-wise in southwestern Pennsylvania. But up here, boy, I got to tell you, it is quite complicated to be an outfielder here in the mid to early spring months. And now Delano, Riverhawks finally get an out, but it is 5-0. What am I doing here? Yes, it is 5-0 Plum right now. Only one out. Runners on first and third. And Domkowski, who got picked off at second base the last time he was on the field for offense, is at the plate right now. All right, just give me 1 second. I'll be right back. I got to grab something. Well, sorry about that. I had to get myself a chair, something to sit on. Normally they have like little stools that are the perfect height so that I can see over my equipment and still be able to have a seat and call the game. But I got a chair. And I know you're all happy for me. I definitely feel better. Well, able to get out of it right there. Somewhat limiting the damage, but 6-0. Now is the score. As we head to the bottom of the fourth, we're going to take a quick commercial break. Thanks to some of our great sponsors here on High Top Sports Network.
Armstrong Indoor Athletics, located at 132 South Grand Street Avenue in downtown Katanning, offers a state-of-the-art training facility and top-tier instruction by experienced coaches to help turn your youngster into the best baseball or softball player they can be. Batting cage and bullpen lane rentals are available for 30 to 60-minute sessions, and you can also sign your baseball or softball player up for private hitting, pitching, fielding, and catching instruction with our knowledgeable staff. Be sure to visit Armstrong Indoor Athletics online at aia.team or call them at 724-599-9761 for more information today.
And welcome back, High Top Sports Network. Josh Reckengast here with you. 6-0 Plum as we head to the bottom half of the fourth inning, home half of the fourth inning, thanks to Bugsy's Pizza and Wings, downtown Katanning. Jeff Bowser, the proprietor of Bugsy's. Great sponsor last year during baseball season, again this year. Appreciate you, Jeff. talking up the pound of fries, which, again, if you watched any baseball last year, you know I dig the pound of fries. And Jeff was like, hey, man, I do pizza. You're talking about the pound of fries. I go, well, it's good. I said, everybody knows the pizza's good. He said, stick to the pizza. Well, I will do that as that ball gets away. And still Watson in there. I thought it kind of looked different in that delivery. Maybe just a Watson trying a different pitch out, or trying out a different pitch. I guess the proper English would be for that, as trying a different pitch out would be, there's a play in baseball called the pitch out, so no need to do it with no one on base. Mason Schreckengast at the plate. 1-2 strike count. Watson into the windup. Tries the outside corner and misses. Schreckengast really burst onto the scene last year. What a year for him. Our breakout player of the year, as I mentioned earlier. And, he just it's a classic example of biding your time and being patient. And that's exactly what Mason did. And Coach Santelmo gave him a chance. And Mason kind of believed that he was getting buried on the bench, wouldn't get an opportunity to show his stuff. And Coach Santelmo, like I said, last year was his first year. And look at that. Out of a 1-2 count, Schreckengast draws a leadoff walk. So thanks to Mason for making me look good there, talking about his patience and discipline. I just showed it right there. So the Riverhawks have a runner aboard, Logan Badak, senior. At the plate, Logan is 0 for 1 against Watson so far this afternoon. Schreckengast at first. And missing up high is Watson. And really kind of odd for him to be pitching out of the stretch, I'm sure. Riverhawks haven't had many base runners. And, well, they've had no hits. Now let's see if anybody's walked. Well, we got a couple of walks. Schreckengast has actually drawn 2. And Delano has drawn a walk. So Armstrong has had 3 base runners, all coming by way of the free pass. And missing again is Watson. So, boy, he was mowing him down there. It just seemed like a couple seconds ago. And now really kind of struggling to find the strike zone. Schreckengast led off with a walk. Now Badak ahead in the count. And throw over. Schreckengast dives back. Not something you heard much about me when I played baseball. It was more like, well, you don't have to worry about Schreckengast taking second base. And generally, that was a pretty fair statement. Not many stolen bases in my career. Good power numbers, though. Dead pull hitter. Didn't strike out much. I'd say it's pretty decent with the glove. Okay arm. Pitched a little bit. But, ham and egger, if you will. But, man, do I love the game, and it's a beautiful, beautiful day. Great day for it. Oh, that one high and tight. Gets Badak on the shoulder. And Logan, like the senior veteran leader he is, shrugs his shoulders, trots down to first. Hey, you're not allowed to rub it. I'm watching, Logan. I always thought that was silly. You get drilled by a guy who's throwing in the mid-80s. What's your first instinct? Is to rub the thing. It hurts. But, you don't want your teammates razzing you. Oh, you couldn't take it. You couldn't take it. Well, guess what? Not a lot of people can. And a couple of runners on here for the Riverhawks. So Watson has not surrendered a hit. But this is now the 4th Riverhawks base runner right now. Well, you got a guy at the plate that can really turn a game around with one swing and takes a king-size rip at that one. And we mentioned him a little while ago. Well, this is actually Wagaman. Excuse me. I thought that way. Like I said, this is far away time. And similar batting stance to Braden Wright, who ended that game with a walk-off last year. And Walkerman, good cut right there, fouls it straight back to the screen. And the runners go back and reset there after the foul ball. And strike three looking. Down goes Walkerman. That is the first out. Well, I'm trying to do about 10 things at once here, and maybe eating while I'm doing that is not the best idea, because the wind just piped up and my stuff is gone off the high rise. I had a little drumstick ice cream treat, and now I see a dog being walked, and hopefully the dog doesn't go for it because it has chocolate in it. And man, that's just what I needed, was another distraction. Definitely shouldn't have opened the drumstick right there. As I said, the wind was calm all day. Well, ever since I got up here. Calmer than normal for sure, but it has strengthened. You might be able to hear it coming through. I'm trying to use my bulbous head to block it. It's tough to do. I keep the mic pretty tight to my face, so. But once the wind changes direction, it'll start hitting the microphone. Nothing I can really do about it. But trying to use what God gave me to keep the sound premium. So Watson, 2 Riverhawks on and at the plate. I don't know if I announced him. Well, that's not very good. I should have announced him coming up here. Rory Brashear. So Brashear 0 for 1. And a big spot right now for the young lefty. That one, on the corner. My goodness. Umpire was up out of his crouch calling that a strike. And again, can't criticize, not gonna. I'm 500 and some feet away here, but not what I do in this situation is watch the catcher's glove. Yeah, of course, sometimes the catcher will set up outside the strike zone, but and again, Jump's glove did not move, and good enough for Brashear to draw a walk to load him up. I believe we do have a sponsor for the bases loaded, I think. Well, a little mound visit here for the Mustangs. I'm trying to look up several things at once here. Whoops. Or close several things at once here. Well, an extra careful mound visit here. All right, back to the action here after the mound visit. And a big spot. And right now for Mills, the catcher. And, right here, this can get a season off to a great start. Mills, open stance there, going against the Plum right-hander. First pitch in there, called a strike. Watson, of course, certainly not afraid to go after anyone. And he's doing so right now with Mills. Well, I don't know if he technically showed bunt right there, but that's kind of surprising that it's only been shown once in this World Series. Or excuse me, this game right here. See what happens is you get scatterbrained when you're trying to do a million things at once. And you start making no sense, which those who know me know I'm great at it. Oh, wow. Doing a great job trying to frame that was jump, but couldn't buy the call. See if I can get back to the screen that I was on there. Yes, sir. Well, big pitch coming right here. And it got a strike at the knees. Oh, man, that is a tough call. To go against Mills to set him down, I'm telling you, again, not there. I would love to be sitting right behind the umpire there, where you can see on the backstop. I don't know how well you can see it. Let me check it out. But you can kind of see on the backstop there. It says Armstrong. I'd certainly like to have a couple pieces of scaffolding and, a utility knife and cut some holes out there above the softball field. We have been able to broadcast a lot of playoff volleyball. But I spoke to someone about the, not mass retirement, but, a lot of retirements fall into place. So people have been kind of doing the same job of athletic director or head whatever coach. They're used to the every day of it. Okay, well, but someone new, driven, hungry, passionate, all of those things, you're going to be sitting up at night reading about it and taking notes. Nothing's the problem. I'm saying God bless. I think it's fantastic. You can work like that and still have some time for yourself as the Riverhawks. All right. Well, my charger's not working. I can't buy a break here. And my phone is at 2% here. So, Coach Caliper.
How you doing, bud?
Hey, how are you, sir?
We got varsity baseball.
Varsity baseball. It is 6-0 Plum at the moment. 6-0 Plum. That was Armstrong girls basketball head coach Jim Caliper. He's also a track coach here at Armstrong. He's coming up to put the mic stand away. I'm going to see if I can grab him, see if he'll talk to me. Because what his team accomplished this year on the basketball court, worthy of conversation. So, hey, Coach, you got a minute? You want to talk? All right, cool. Let me get the ice cream off my hand. And I'll get your headset here. We'll get you on. I think, as I said, when I'm doing baseball, it's a conversation with the smartest guy I know, a.k.a. me. Yeah, exactly. Well, you reacted pretty much the same way as everybody else. Let me get that mic out for you. So what you're going to want to do is put it on this way so the mic is on your left ear. And let me get you plugged in here, Coach. And we're going to talk some Armstrong girls basketball because, as I said to myself, it's worthy of conversation, even though it's baseball season now. But I didn't really get a chance to talk to you after the season, so we'll get you on right now. Here, I'll plug you in. All right, Coach, let me just go back here. And here we go. Can you hear me, Coach?
Yes, sir.
Oh, wow, you sound great.
Thank you.
All right, Coach. Well, as I kind of gave a little lead in, varsity girls basketball coach here at Armstrong, and historic season on many levels. A lot of goals set, a lot of goals achieved. Obviously, I heard Charles Barkley say it, only one team comes out of this tournament happy. He's talking about March Madness. Of course, your relation to that would be the PIAA state basketball tournament. You guys got a couple of wins and ran into a buzzsaw there against McKeesport.
Yeah.
Couldn't, some struggles offensively early on, I thought. But, just kind of take me back, give me an overall viewpoint of the accomplishment of this season and what that senior class especially meant to this program.
Yeah, I mean, it was great. It was a wonderful season. Like you said, only one team's happy. Everybody wants to finish out with a win and go all the way, but that wasn't in the cards. But otherwise, just a tremendous story. We started off a little bit shaky, put ourselves behind the 8 ball, down 0-2 in the section, but the girls were, persistent and patient, and we battled through a lot of things early, and we figured it out, got hot. And then, as you know, we got that section title, which is sweet. And then from there, we got into the playoffs, got on a little roll, kept it going, whatever that win streak was going into the playoffs. And, we did a nice job at home. It's always good to host a playoff game. And, it was nice to get to the Pete. That was my first time there, so it was a wonderful experience for me personally. But this group of girls, they really deserved it for all the, everybody I guess deserves it, but this group especially, because they did have the talent, and we did struggle a little bit early, and we haven't really had a lot of playoff success. So getting into that tournament and making a run like we did, and then just how we got there, upsetting the undefeated at the time, number one ranked team in the state. I mean, that game and the community support at that game, it was just phenomenal. And then to come back a couple days later, it was a tough thing emotionally for us, but we were ready, and we did okay. But we didn't have our best game, and they shot lights out. But that was fun. And then getting into the state tournament again, and just a great experience. So glad that we could do that for those girls and for the community. And it's something that hopefully those kids, I know I will, something that they'll remember forever.
Yeah, I mean, it's something that, as a reporter, journalist, broadcaster, whatever you want to call me and High Top together, it gives you chills, meaning us, to be in those situations, to cover, what's going on the court, to see the emotion, to see, the joy of those victories, the firsts, the first WPIAL playoff win, back-to-back section titles, first state playoff win, to see, all of the emotion on the court. It takes me back certainly to when I played. I didn't have any kind of success like that. So whenever I see a kid from Armstrong County get to have that kind of success on the court, it gets me right in the heartstrings too. But I thought what you guys were able to do this year in terms of learning how to win in different ways, I thought that's one thing that's going to be able to be carried over after these seniors have graduated. This senior class, obviously led by Emma Paul, Kyla Fitzgerald, Sarah Weaver, Callie Allensworth, Sophia DiGregorio, and Ella Graff, I think have put this program on the map. But what they've shown the next group, the next cohort, and those younger girls that are coming up through the system, is you can win in different ways. You don't have to rely on the same player every night. You don't have to rely on the same philosophy every night.
For sure, yeah. That's something that, like you said, that's something that we can build off of. We got to kind of replenish our depth here and get our skill level up a little bit with some of these young girls that are going to have to step up and play a lot of varsity, whether they're ready or not right now. We got to get them ready, and that's our job in the off season to do so. But we're looking forward to good things in the future here. We're just going to keep working and keep grinding, and it's nice to have that success. But if you're a competitor, you always want a little bit more, and now we kind of set the standard here, and so anything less than making the playoffs or fighting for a section title, is going to be second tier for us now. We want to keep battling every year year in and year out, and at least be at the top of the leaderboard towards the end of the season.
Yeah, and I think that's one of the major things a kid, 5th grade, going to a basketball camp at the high school, man, I knew that I didn't have to live up to some great legacy in Katanning, but at Armstrong, those girls in 5th, 6th grade that go to those camps, they know that they do, and that's a powerful thing.
Yeah, for sure.
To tap into the mental side of it at a young age to know, hey, I'm playing for a good program.
Well, I think we had that support too, not just the community support, but the younger players. And we came to a lot of games. They got to see us come down the net. You know, when we won the section title, they were there for that. They see that celebration. They want to do that someday. And, you know, there's the old saying, success breeds success.
Yes.
And that's a part of it. When they're around it, they see it. They know that they can achieve that. And they want to be a part of cutting that net down someday and winning a section or getting a home playoff game or a state playoff game at home. And so it's something, you know, that we can talk about and say you can do it too. And so it's fun.
I'm just going to ask you to turn a little bit, turn your back. There you go, because we're getting a lot of wind. I mean,
Yes.
it's impossible up here. It's impossible. But, Coach, one thing, just completely off topic, your adjustment of the ladder when cutting down the net's crucial. I thought, man, that's a dad right there. He knew that ladder was not positioned correctly. You got in there. It was quick. Nobody really noticed it except myself and Todd Ashbaugh. And I said, wow, look at that. I said, Coach Cal spotted the ladder placement wasn't really great.
Well,
Got in there and made the adjustment, which I got to say, Coach, this year I was really impressed with the way you adjusted at halftime. You know, you and your coaching staff. And the way the girls came out and executed and listened to the message. You guys did that a lot of times, and that leads into, you know, what I was saying before about learning how to win in different ways. You guys were good as a staff to come up with the adjustments, and the girls were good on the court to make them in real time.
yeah, I mean, we always try to make adjustments, but sometimes you execute them, sometimes you don't. So a lot of credit has to go to the girls for, you know, as we talk about it. And they have input too. I want those girls, especially a senior laden group, to give us a little bit of input on what they see out there, especially in Emma Paul, who thinks the game so well. But, you know, you can have all the adjustments you want. If you don't go out and execute them, it doesn't really matter. And, and that group, you know, for the most part, they did. They took what we said, you know, they took what, you know, we drew up or whatever, and they put it into motion, and that's what carried us through.
Sure, it's nice to have an Emma Paul, though, to say, hey, this is what I need you guys to do. She goes, I know, Coach. I was already doing it. You know, I'd be remiss if I didn't mention her, you know, what she's meant to the program, the school, the community. Just incredible. And she still has another season left, which I know I'm going to relish it, watching her on the diamond here in softball season. Just a phenomenal athlete, a great kid, just a bona fide competitor, too. I told her, I said, you're ice water. I said, you never show emotion. And she goes, you know what she told me? This was in softball season last year. She hits a game-winning home run that lands down here on the road, and I'm like, how would she get that kind of power out of that little frame? But I said, you know, you showed no emotion coming around. All those girls are jumping and screaming at home plate. She goes, I like to act like I've been there before. And that's just the mindset that she has is 3 levels above your regular high school kid.
Well, for sure, yeah. She's just a competitive person by nature. It doesn't matter if you're playing basketball or softball or checkers or chess.
I was going to say checkers.
She wants to beat the pants off you any way she can, and that's good. I mean, that's why she is the player that she is today. But she definitely led our group this year for sure. There was no question about who our leader was. But those other girls, those role players, they really played a big part in what we did as well. So, you know, it was definitely a team effort, but she was our leader for sure. And so, again, like I said, those girls can look back, and they all had a hand in our success this season.
Yeah, and I mean, you know, the seniors, as we talked about before, you had some younger players step into roles that weren't easy roles. I thought Bella Yancey did a really good job this year. You know, she had a lot of responsibility on her plate, handling the ball, and, you know, having to go against the press, having to guard a top scoring threat from the other team is not an easy thing to do. And I thought, you know, she in particular did a great job as an underclassman. You know, the way that you guys have transformed, you know, the mentality. And I think it's starting to become kind of like a school-wide mentality of like, hey, we're not just here to play this game. We're here to compete. We're here to win. And I think that, you know, it's taken a few years. Obviously, it's going to it's going to take a little bit of time with a new school and a merging of two former rivals.
Yeah.
But I think it's starting to become like a school-wide thing, and you guys really set the bar for pretty much everybody else now.
Well, I hope so, and I hope we can, maintain that level of success and, just keep working towards that each and every year. And, if we can get, a nice layer at each grade level that comes in and contributes, so you don't have a drop-off from year to year, that's what you strive for. So that's what we're working towards, and hopefully it works out that way for us.
Coach Caliver, did you ever play baseball in your
I
life?
did play baseball when I was younger, and I used to watch the Pirates a lot, but now I don't have any time, so I don't even watch the Pirates anymore.
Well, at least your excuse is you don't have any time, not the, like my dad's excuse is like, I hate
Well, I didn't miss much for the last few years.
You
I know
didn't.
that.
There was a 3-year window in there that, was kind of fun as a lifelong Pirates fan, but they've been pretty much nothing but heartbreak for me, and I've sadly passed that on to my son. He is a diehard Pirates fan. But this year, I think the Buccos could be pretty solid. But, the Riverhawks out here, playoff team last year, and it kind of goes with what I was saying before of, across the board program-wise, starting to see some real success here at Armstrong. And I think no matter what sport, no matter what team, boys or girls, the more winning, the better. It's only
sure.
It can only help across
Yeah.
the board with the athletic program.
Yeah, we have, a great community, hardworking community, and I think, those characteristics kind of spill over into the athletics. It's a nice thing to come watch a football game here on a Friday night, or a softball or baseball game on a beautiful day like this, or even a track meet that just got
How's
finished
that
with.
go down there?
Pretty good.
Nice.
I don't know what the final score was, but we had a lot of good performances, and we'll look and see what the score sheet says here in a couple minutes. But it's fun. It's nice, and I think each sport supports the other sports at the school, and the kids support each other. And again, that's what it's really all about, man. When you have that community support and that tight knit group, it only makes you stronger.
Yeah, and it's something that, me being a product of this county and this the school system, this district, when we consolidated for the first time in the early 90s, I was in junior high, and I loved it. I wanted it really badly. I didn't look at Ford City, and those guys that I got to play with, multiple sports for a couple of years, they were my friends, and then 2 years later they were my rivals, and it was tough.
Yeah.
It was tough, but the community wasn't fully behind it at that time for whatever reason.
Yeah.
I think not having a new school was a major reason why it fell apart.
Yeah.
But to see the community come together after the formation of this school up here, beautiful new facility, beautiful facilities, period, across the board in terms of the stadium, the fields, the weight room, the gym, everything, the auxiliary gym even. That was nicer than my high school gym in Katanning. It's really been something that I'm sure you've been thrilled to be a part of, and your kids to be a part of.
I'm not originally from this area, but you understand, when that was happening, there was a lot of Ford City pride and a lot of Katanning pride, and again, that it takes time, and all that it just spilled over here, and like I said, it's a wonderful thing. So I'm glad I get to be a part of it in a lot of different aspects. Teaching here is wonderful, and working with the kids on a daily basis. We have a great staff and administrators here too, so it's fun to come to work every day.
Now, you personally, your daughter was a basketball player.
She
Your
was.
son is a standout soccer player.
He's an excellent soccer player.
Excellent might be an understatement. He's
he's
going to have every scoring record by the time he's done.
He's
next
pretty
year.
good.
And did you ever play soccer? That's the question.
I just messed around with it a little bit, but I coached them when they were younger. And, it is what it is. And he just did real well on track today. He ran the 400, and he's
the 400.
55, man.
Oh, that's tough.
And he won a couple races. He only ran 2, so he did real well. So hopefully he'll find his little niche in that as well.
What was it like coaching your daughter at, up to the high school level, and then handing her off to a different coach? You were not yet the coach here at Armstrong.
No, I was coaching at Apollo Ridge, I believe, at the time.
Yeah, when Jalen was here.
It was tough. I mean, it was nice to coach her, but I think, sometimes you need to let them be taught or coached by somebody else, and I think that's important for them, and, I just let her go. Really, I quit my last couple of years at Apollo so I could watch her.
Yeah, I know.
Her junior and senior year.
I'd see you
coach.
sitting over by yourself
Yeah.
on the other side of the bleachers.
Yeah, I
there.
just like to sit and be alone and keep my thoughts to myself.
Not a conversationalist. during
No,
those
no,
games.
no. I just like to watch her, and that's it. But that was definitely a fun experience, and I think she blossomed because of that. And I didn't want to coach her because I would probably been 10 times harder on her than anybody else.
Well, that's always the way it is with coaches.
Yeah, but we have a great relationship, and I wanted to keep that intact. So,
Definitely.
she grew up, did her own thing, and I think she's better for it today because of that.
And Jordan didn't have to worry about you coaching him in soccer.
Jordan, well, I coached him in junior high here a little bit, and I'm coaching him now in track. But he's pretty good, and that's a lot different than basketball's a whole different animal.
Oh yeah, it really is because I played my whole life, and there's stuff that you have to work. It's just work, and I mean every sport really is if you break it down. But track, you can go out there if you can bust out the 400, man. That's a tough race.
It is a tough race.
That's a tough race, and if he could just go out there and bust it out, obviously soccer is his number one game. But sometimes you could just be naturally gifted at running, or even in soccer. Really, I feel like basketball is a whole different animal. Like you said, there's a lot of fine points to it that just aren't. You can't rely on natural athleticism.
For sure.
Well, Coach, I think the Riverhawks are on the board for the first time today. Mason Schreckengoss delivering an RBI double. I saw it gun over the head of Meyer out here in left field while we were chatting. And, Coach, really appreciate you stopping up.
No problem, anytime.
And congratulations to you once again on a great season.
Thank you. Thank everybody for the support, and thanks for covering all the stuff for us. We appreciate it as a community.
Hey, it's our pleasure, Coach.
All right.
Jim Caliber, Armstrong Girls Varsity Basketball head coach, and also track coach here for the Riverhawks, stopping up to join me after their meet. And I'm glad we got a chance to talk to Coach Cal. He's a great guy. I enjoyed covering him when he was at Apollo there, and then, as he said, when his eldest, Jalen, was playing basketball here, he hung up the coaching whistle there for a little bit and got to watch her play her varsity career here as a member of the Riverhawks. And now back on the sidelines, and in just 3 years, Coach Caliber has turned that Riverhawks girls varsity program into one to be reckoned with. Emma Paul, it's great to have her. It's great to have 6'2" Kyla Fitzgerald in the paint, and Sarah Weaver and Callie Allensworth down on the blocks, snapping necks and cashing checks. But you got to put it all together. Some of the most talented players in the world don't have championships, don't have team accomplishments because they weren't led by the right coaches. And I think Coach Cal has done a great job of acquitting himself here since taking over the girls varsity basketball program. As I said, and as Coach detailed, just a tremendous season by the girls here at Armstrong. Made it to the state quarterfinals before falling to McKeesport, and made it to the WPIAL championship game, coming up just a bit short against South Fayette, but gave them all they could handle. So got that section title banner to hang on the rafters in the gymnasium down there, and I believe they give a WPIAL runner-up banner, so one of those for the Riverhawks program. And Coach Caliper, kind enough to join us here in the bottom of the fifth inning. Mason Schreckengoss, as I said, ripped that double, and that knocked the starting pitcher for Plum out of the game. I do believe that was his last batter. Oh no, that was Walker actually pitching to Schreckengoss. And another one ripped deep, and that's going to get a couple in. Or excuse me, Schreckengoss will score. And Riverhawks have fought back with a couple here. So now Shulo in. I believe it's Shulo. Just make sure. Sometimes, the old game changer, it takes a minute to catch up. So we're going to make 100% sure that's who it is. 6-2 now. 2 outs here, bottom of the 5th. Riverhawks trail the Plum Mustangs. But got a couple home. A few hits this inning. And that was delivered by Kinter, I believe. Oh, who had that? Oh, Logan Badak, of course. Hitting right after Schreckengost. The RBI double for Badak. So back-to-back doubles for Schreckengost and Badak. And both of them of the run-scoring variety. So now with Logan Badak at second base. And Shulo on the mound for the Mustangs. Curveball gets the corner. Ooh, man, good frame job there by Jump. And it looks like Wagaman. Oh, wait. Nope. We're catching up again. Sorry. Wagaman ended up scoring on Schreckengost's double, I believe. Oh, no, Wagaman at the plate. Apologies. Names are bouncing all over my screen. Sorry about that. And that just at the knee and doesn't get the strike. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm going to just do that. Hopefully that helps a little bit. Yeah, the wind up here, as mentioned numerous times, it gets a little loud in the mic. I just kind of grabbed Coach Cowell and turned him. I was like, yeah, you need to turn your back this way to kind of shield that mic a little bit. Not an easy task. So Riverhawks down 6-2. And back into second base was Badak. Had a big lead out there. And I've noticed a lot from both teams now. I mean, they're taking their secondaries. I mean, Badak's got a good lead right now. You can't really tell because the camera's pulled back and the scoreboard's right in front of it anyway. And reaching out, getting bat on ball. Going to be a close play at first base. And got him. The 6-3 put out to end the inning. As Domkowski charges and fires and gets Wagaman by a step to end the 5th inning. But Riverhawks get a couple fighting back in the bottom of the 5th inning. RBI doubles by Mason Schreckengost, and Logan Badak will make it 6-2. Riverhawks trail the Plum Mustangs, their first section contest of the season. We'd like to thank all of our great sponsors here on High Top Sports Network for Armstrong, Riverhawks varsity baseball coverage, Mills Chiropractic, Steffi's Country Catering, Ryan Bowser State Farm, John F. Graff Insurance Agency, Bugsy's Pizza and Wings, Nationwide Logistics, Armstrong Indoor Athletics, and we got some other ones on the horizon, I do believe. But those sponsors, and if you've ever watched a High Top broadcast, there's a darn good chance that those sponsors are with us no matter what the sport. Those are businesses that believe in us and we believe in them, and loyalty goes a long way here at High Top Sports Network. And those companies that I just mentioned, I just ran down the list right there. They've all pretty much been with us since day one, and I mean, I'm a pretty talkative guy. As I said to Coach Cal, every baseball game I do, it's a conversation with the smartest guy I know. Just talking to myself up here in the landing. And I kind of like it when there's a track meet behind me because at least I know there's people back there. But now I am alone in this stadium. And I talk about a lot of things. I touch upon a lot of things. I make my way around a lot of different subjects during a baseball game. First pitch, skied towards center field. Harkleroad charging, not going to be able to get to it. It drops. Leadoff base hit for the Mustangs here in the top of the 6th inning. Get the game changer back up and see who that was. It always takes a minute to catch up with the old game changer. That was Kemmerer. So he led off here. Kemmerer was the first batter. And on the hill for the Riverhawks is Braden Wright, up to 25 pitches now. Wright, as I mentioned, the hero of that game against Plum here last year. The walk-off dinger. And also underrated part of that afternoon for Braden Wright. 4 shutout innings of relief. I mean, and he didn't have his best stuff. I mean, he'd rightfully be the first to admit. He couldn't come over the top on his curveball. He was leaving it up. So really all he had was his fastball. And he located it well. He threw, different mixes of fastballs. Because the breaking stuff just wasn't, he wasn't able to snap it off. He couldn't bring it all the way down. And lefties, they have to do that. If you throw as upright as Braden Wright does, and now you'll see a lot of lefties that throw, 3/4. Kind of looks almost sidearm, but it's not. The arm slot a little lower, elbow a little bit lower. That's not how Wright throws. Wright is a classic tall lefty over the top, and he's got a big 12-6 curveball. But that day, he could not get it in there for a strike. And Coach Santelmo, baseball guy, there's a perfectly played bunt. Wright slides for it. No good. Badak fields the ball, but the throw gets away at first base. Over there covering, I believe, was Kinter. And Badak upset with himself after that play as, Wright made a diving attempt for it. And Badak ended up with the ball in his hand, and he turned, tried to fire quickly. And ball got a little bit above Kinter right there. It hit the top of his glove. And it went to the screen, but Beyer slipped as well and did not advance, but all the way across the diamond, Kemmerer at third base, nobody down. Top of the 6th inning here. And you see, I can't see the numbers. It's too bright, and oh man, I've probably said this 1,000 times on the broadcast. Man, I should have brought my binoculars. Because, well, they still have Shear out there in left field, but I don't think that's him. I don't know. I thought Bashir was actually on the mound because he throws, and I don't think Braden has the lettuce that Bashir has right now, but I don't know. It says Braden Wright is pitching. I think it's Rory Bashir, but hey, who am I to judge? Who am I to know what to say? I don't know. You're at the mercy of the technology, and it's definitely Bashir. He's that hair, it's all over the place. I don't know. Maybe Braden Wright grew his hair out. The last time I saw him, it was short. We'll do some quick research about it. As I said, Jake Canish, co-athletic director here, he sent me the roster as popped up on the infield. So after getting down there and swiping second base, I believe that was Kemmerer. Oh man, I kind of explained it a little bit earlier in this game, but we're a staff admin for a lot of teams' game changers, so we can get those stats and the information to you that really gives some context to the game and the way the players are performing, whether they're red hot, whether they're trying to get out of a slump, anything like that. Being allowed in by the team to see that stuff and be able to relay it on the air is huge for us. But it also means that on a day like today, when every team in, the Western Pennsylvania is in action, that means I got about 10 games on my menu going on right now, and you click the wrong one, and boy, you're you're somewhere else. Let's put it that way. Sky towards the first base side. Badak measuring. It's going to just get over those bleachers down the first base line. So the count is 1-2, 1 down here, top of the 6th inning. Riverhawks trail 6-2. And that one low and off the plate. Good job blocking that delivery by Mills. Well, on this roster that I have, number 10 is Rory Bashir. Braden Wright is number 25, and that is definitely number 25 pitching. And Braden Wright must have given up haircuts for Lent, because I'm telling you, the last time I saw him, his hair was not like that. Kudos to that kid for being able to grow hair that fast. It's all fun and games until you turn 45 and it just don't grow no more. So, right. Oh, high. The velocity, sweet chin music right up in there. But a walk to load the bases. So, not exactly what you want if you are Armstrong head coach Vinny Santelmo. Armstrong will have a couple of more whacks at Plum here in the bottom of the 6th, and barring a tie, bottom of the 7th, right? And something off speed right there. He's losing his hat every single pitch. Get a bobby pin in there, kid. Something. You know, I like the guys that, you know, they get the hat that's so big that it goes over their head and their ears, a la Pedro Alvarez. And that thing isn't going anywhere. Fly ball down the right side will drop out of play. I don't know, maybe Braden needs to adjust the hat. I'm pretty sure these aren't, I think they're those flex fit caps, which I'm a big fan of. Thanks to Joseph Rhodes. He was controlling my computer the whole way through that interview with Coach Caliper. I saw that he was going to... Sometimes it's more efficient to let somebody else do it when you're trying to talk and eat ice cream and spill it all over yourself and then interview a coach. But Joe jumped on there, got that scoreboard up for us while I was talking to Coach Cal. And I saw my mouse moving around, and so did Coach Cal. He saw my hand wasn't moving. And he was definitely a little, he's like, oh, what's going on here? And I'm like, well, you know, the ghosts are in the machine. Thanks to Joe for jumping on there and getting that scoreboard up while I was chatting with Coach Caliper. As you can see, 6-2. Your score, Plum on top. Got bases juiced full of Stangs. Right fires, hat off. That fastball up high. And now it is jam time. Shulo is the batter right now for the Mustangs. It is a full count of Nationwide Logistics. Full count drive with the best. You're looking for a new career, Nationwide Logistics. Check them out online. Right delivers, chopped. foul down the third baseline. And right now, boy, oh boy, couldn't the Riverhawks use one of those double plays I was talking about a little earlier, maybe a hard hit ball right at somebody, go home then first. The infield playing a little too far in to, get one to Mason Treckengoss step and throw, but it's, something hard. And ball 4 upstairs brings in a run, 7-2. Plum gets one of those runs back here in the top of the 6th inning, as Wright just couldn't find it. And a run-scoring free pass there, and it looks like Wright will be done as Coach Santelmo going to head to the mound, and Wright, he knows it probably. I got a feel for the kid. I feel for any high school athlete that struggles, and the game gets away from him a little bit, and it's a couple pitches here and there. I mean, it's just a couple that he just missed. You get those calls, you get a guy to swing and maybe turn one over, a weak grounder somewhere. A whole different story. But for right here in this situation, just needed to make strong pitches and hit that strike zone, really pound it, and hadn't been able to do it so far. But again, Santelmo back to the dugout without making a pitching change. He did it earlier with Carson Delano, the starter. So that will hopefully be a vote of confidence that Braden Wright can use to his advantage. First pitch, swung on, and the throw home gets away. Another run scores. They tried to get the forced throw back to third. It gets away, and Treckengoss has to track that down. Oh, man, they're trying to get that force out at home. They cut down a run. And that was Lafferty at the plate right there. And, oh, man. Nothing. And everything turns into just an absolute cluster in the middle there. Nobody knows which way they're coming or going, and throughout all of the distractions, Plum able to put another one on the board. 8-2 Mustangs. Here in the top of the 6th inning of this Ryan Bowser State Farm game night. Thanks also to Sprankle's Neighborhood Markets. Another one of our day ones, sponsors that have been there from the beginning. Thanks to Ryan, as always. When someone owns a business and you walk into their business and you say, I want money to broadcast the athletic team in this town, in this community, I got to tell you, and I don't blame them, a lot of them look like you're crazy because it sounds like a crazy request. And if you watched the Sprankles social media pages, I think a little crazy is just the recipe when you're dealing with the Sprankle family. And I'll tell you what, Ryan has done just about everything for us in terms of being a sponsor, being a loyal, dependable, reliable sponsor that is not afraid to write a big check when needed. And a lot of times it's one of those things where, well, if we get a chance to do this game, what do you think? And he inevitably says, I'm in. So thanks to Ryan. Got to get him out on the golf course here soon. We have a list of folks we'd like to take out. Armstrong baseball assistant coach Kyle Montgomery's one of them, still waiting for his round. So we got to get that taken care of. But you know what? If the weather stays like it is today, which it won't, but if it does, oh boy, everybody and their brother's going to get around to golf from High Top. And, of course, Birdsfoot Golf Club. That is the official golf course of High Top Sports Network. It's pretty tough to become an official anything of High Top Sports Network. There's some differing opinions on some things. Some differing styles, definitely. A little more old school. One's a little more new school. You get it. Well, we get a ball in the... Oh, that was off the plate. Wow. And the final out of the inning rests in the glove of one Rory Bashir out there in left field, but not before the Mustangs smack on a couple more runs. In fact, more than a couple. It is now 11-2. Stangs over the Hawks. Well, I don't think 9 triggers a mercy in the 6th inning. I don't think so. But either way, Riverhawks going to have to start doing some scoring regardless if they want to come back in this one. Armstrong got a couple of runs last inning. He got the back-to-back RBI doubles by Mason Schreckengoss and Logan Badag. So, but they're going to need more than that. And here's the thing that I had a junior Legion coach back in the day. Oh, man. Junior Legion, what was I, 13, 14? So we're talking like 1991. Different time then. You know, coaches were a lot more, let's just say, freer with their thoughts and the way that they expressed them. And I had a coach, that said when you're down 9 runs, guess what? You can't hit a 9-run home run. And I always thought it was stupid when I was young. But the older I've gotten, I'm like, you know what? You can't hit a 9-run home run. What he meant was it's station to station. Everybody has to keep getting on base, moving up 90 feet at a time, and keep that going for as long as it takes to get that lead back. But for a kid with my attention span, I'm thinking 9-run home run, that would be pretty sweet. First pitch, that is a strike. And we'll get you some names here in a second. Yeah, I think it was Bashir, one of the lefties I was thinking about. Obviously, Braden Wright. Well, here we go. Back to the action thanks to Ryan Bowser, State Farm. Like a good neighbor, Ryan Bowser, State Farm is there. And the line out there was the previous play. And first pitch, Shulo's still in there for the Mustangs. That one Off the plate to Mills. And Shulo tries to come back with it kind of looked like a backdoor curveball. Didn't get the required break on it, so it misses the strike zone. And the Riverhawks desperately need a rally, and as I said, you can't hit a 9-run home run. You got to get it one at a time. And I'll tell you what, just the time that I've been around him, he never coached me. But, the way that he looks at baseball, his philosophy about the sport, it's ever-changing. And I find it spectacular. I think it's fascinating that, he goes to such lengths to track, ideas and thoughts and hunches, because you can do it. I do it with other things like golf. I wish it equated in some better scores. We'll get her. No worries. Well, no worries. And that ball fouled away. Harkle Road at the plate, 2 down. Riverhawks trailing in this one, 11-2, bottom of the 6th inning. You're watching High Top Sports Network. Josh Schreckengast here with you. Thanks to Armstrong Girls Varsity Basketball head coach Jim Caliber for stopping by after the track meet and having some words. Well, we didn't have words. I mean, we spoke words, but having him say a few words about the just incredible run that the Armstrong Girls Varsity Basketball team made this year. Man, I didn't know. I was asked if I was surprised about the doneness of the fish. I am surprised. I didn't even know it was coming. Gotta get up here and stretch a little bit. That's one thing. It's not like I'm sitting in a Barca lounger. It's metal on metal here. And that one low off the plate. So Shulo up to, that was his 20th pitch. Harkle Road 0 for 2 on the day. Has played a good defensive center field as usual for Armstrong. Able to get to a lot of balls. And that one in the dirt bounces. And a toss of the bat toward his dugout and down. To first base is Ian Harkle Road with the base on balls. And just taking a little turn around. Quick look at the stadium. Yep. Nobody. No, not even custodians in here anymore. Just me. All by myself. And that pitch is low. So now starting to struggle a little bit to find the plate is Shulo. See if he can work it back and get out of this inning. Harkle Road walked. And now it looks like I can't read very well. And out to, well, Harkle Road is out of the game. And someone, I think, came in a pinch run. No, they're saying it's Harkle Road. I don't know why he got second base. I'm not sure if it was a balk or what. And that pitch high against the strike call. Yowza, Nick Kinter. No wonder. I'd step out and take a few practice cuts too after that. It was high and outside, and a good job once again by Jump to frame it. He's a headsy catcher. I like him. And plus, tremendous last name. Oh, they get him on the strikeout call. Wow, unbelievable. Oh, no. Everybody back to their positions. Wow. I guess that was only strike 2. There on Nick Kinter. But all the Plum players started going toward their dugout and thought that Shulo had rung up another victim, but still battling are those two. Make it 2-1 is the count. And that one misses, a walk. So right now, Armstrong runners on first and third. 2 down here, bottom of the 6th. Oh, no. Oh, man. I just stepped in the ice cream that I spilled ever so gently here. And that's why, my mom would get pretty furious about it. She is a very neat freak lady. She's like, "Go you down," and oh boy. Well, the game changer's not catching up, so I thought it was a strike. And that one skips away. But again, Jump doing a great job. Just throwing his body in front of everything, and that's what they say you need to do as a catcher. I mean, my dad, he knew a lot about baseball, or knows a lot about baseball. I shouldn't talk about him in the past tense. And good contact there. Base knock, got a couple around, a little misplay in the outfield, would not have mattered. So, couple of runs on the board for the Riverhawks. And 2 innings in a row, they have scored 2 runs, I believe, also 2 innings in a row with 2 outs. Well, we're going to get a conference here, and while we have a conference, let's take a break real fast and thank one of our great sponsors here on High Top Sports Network, Nicola Ann Photography. Sorry about that. I accidentally hit a button that took us to a black screen there. Sorry. But we're back. I'll turn the volume up just a touch. The wind has somewhat died down here from when Coach Cal was up here, and we were chatting about the season had by his... Really? I thought people were against that, saying that Pro V1 parents didn't want their kids playing with that. Interesting. How would you be able to tee? 100 tee. Well. Alrighty. Let's see. This will be Kemmerer with his team up by 7 runs, 11-4. Well, that pickoff attempt over to first base. Nothing doing there. And the count remains 3-1 in favor of Braden Wright. And ball 4 upstairs. So Riverhawks again threatening to maybe bust through here and get back and make this a 1 or 2 run game. Well, I got to tell you, I was sitting there waiting for the wind, and this one has got a little nip to it. It's got a little chilly. Oh, I'm getting oh, there it is. Oh, wow, swing and rip toward third base, and gonna field it and make the tag. A little minor bump collision right there at third between Jablonski and Mackios, but Plum able to get the final out of the inning, but the Riverhawks tack on 2 more. Make it 11-6, excuse me. Pardon me for clearing my throat right there. And it is time to head to the 7th inning here at Armstrong Junior Senior High School, high atop the hill. 300 Buffington Drive. Gorgeous day. Nice to be outside on a day like today. Sure does make me think of baseball, but there are people over on those bleachers. Every one of them's got a blanket or a winter coat. You know why? Because the wind's crazy up here. I mean, it's crazy. Hopefully, March will be out like a lamb. And it'll be more days like this as we head toward the end of the month. And more days just like this whenever High Top is on the air outside. No cover. Just our Hawaiian shirts and bodies to block the rain. And maybe some golf umbrellas. Courtesy of some fast-thinking parents on the sidelines there. If you're a diehard High Top fan, you know what I'm talking about. All I know is I didn't know there was that much rain in the sky. It rained for a while, too, and I give the people credit down there. It was down in Bedford. We were down there for Armstrong girls softball state playoff game. And some reason on a natural surface, which, if you know high school sports around here, not too many of them look very great at the end of the season. Well, this field took a beating. It opened up And the mantra of those state playoff games is get it in no matter what. So there was a very long rain delay, a very, very long rain delay. And then the cleanup took forever because they had the big squeegees going over the infield and then the diamond dry. So it was basically a big dude pushing a squeegee, and behind him was either an assistant coach or one of the parent volunteers or whatever, just laying that diamond dry down to try and get that infield playable, and they did a good job. I think it ended up being over 2 hours, I think the rain delay was. And Joe Rhodes made a time-lapse video of it. Rather hilarious to watch. But you just see the rain roll in. On our cameras, you see the rain roll in, and it just opens up. And then you can't see 3 inches in front of your face because it's raining so hard. And it dumped, and there were no thoughts by the PIAA officials on hand. I'm not talking the umpires. I'm talking the officials, the game managers. They come to the game, make sure everything goes smoothly. They were like, we're getting this in. And sure enough, we did. Or they did. We got to broadcast it. And the Riverhawks won pretty convincingly. And got to stop at Haas's on the way home. Some salad bar and some little medallion steak bites. Boy, it was good. And there is a pop toward the right side. Long run. It drops, and that's at fair territory. Base knock. To start the top of the 7th inning there by Kemmerer. He's had a nice game today. That makes him 2 for 2. And I believe he threw a couple pitches. Oh, yeah. Third of an inning pitched. Scoreless. 1 walk allowed. So Kemmerer doing a little bit of everything today for the Mustangs. And Wright delivers that one. Kind of a tail on it. I don't know if that was supposed to be maybe a slider or something running away, but I don't know. It had a weird tail to it. It didn't look intentional, whatever it was. And I believe that one missed as well. And so looks like Glasspool getting his first at-bat of the day, a pinch hit appearance for Plum, and Wright pumps that one right down Broadway. There's a strike. And that ball smacked towards left center field. Oh, boy, it took a bad bounce on Bashir. And that is unlucky right there for the Riverhawks. That outfield, I got to tell you, it was built on a place up here at the complex where, oh, man, you just should have seen them every day taking rocks out of that outfield. Every single day. Just a very, it's never going to be flat. Let's just put it that way. There's rocks out there. There's obstacles. Doesn't matter how high you grow the grass and how you trim it and upkeep it. Man, you get a ball hit like that, maybe with some side spin on it. And, boy, Glasspool delivers in a pinch hit appearance. Getting up there, smacking an extra base hit. And that'll put runners. Change that inning for you. Sorry about that. That'll put runners at second and third. So 2 in scoring position right now at the plate. Domkowski. Well, we got a schedule update and shortly a programming update for us here on High Top Sports Network. Armstrong softball will now be hosting Hempfield next Tuesday. It was supposed to be last week. That game canceled due to the weather, so I believe it was scheduled at Hempfield, but they'll be here. Hempfield always a perennial contender for a WPIAL title and or a long run in states. And I think it's a good measuring stick every year for the Riverhawks to play teams like that. Don't want to rest on your laurels. As Wright fans the hitter there with some high cheese. And that was Domkowski. He's going down on strike, so his day will most likely end at a 1 for 4 on the stat line there. So most likely, I would venture to guess that it would be pretty darn near certain we'll be here for that one. Next Tuesday, Armstrong softball now hosting Hempfield. That game originally scheduled for Hempfield last week, but the weather just too chilly to be able to get that one underway. And let me tell you, I told Mr. Canis that I would have been crying frozen tears if I would have had to be out because it was cold. And as I said, you got to knock 10 degrees off any forecast you see coming up here. So that gives the Armstrong softball team an extra home game this year. That's always fun. So right, a 2-1 pitch. That one's going to miss. So still Mustangs at second and third. Plum leads 11-4 here. Top of the seventh. That one's skied toward the right side. Badak ranging over near the fence. And he's able to hang on to it for the second out of the inning. Badak, boy, that's a veteran first baseman play right there. Knew exactly how much room he had and actually turned back toward home plate. That is a veteran play. Trust me, I played a lot of innings at that position. And what you don't want to do is take a straight angle to that ball and be pinned up against the fence. Now, it's a little bit different. I throw right-handed. Logan throws left-handed. It's a little bit different for a right-handed throwing first baseman right there. You could take a little bit straighter of an angle. But what Logan Badak had to do on that particular play was kind of take a rounded, a circuitous route, if you will, to that pop-up. Therefore, he's not pinned against the fence trying to throw across his body. He would have to then create space between himself and the fence because his throwing arm is on the inside of his body. Nowhere to get rid of that ball, and therefore at third base, Kemmerer might see that and say, I'm going. Stranger things have happened than tagging up on an infield fly ball. But just the way that Logan played that ball, that's a headsy veteran move there at first by Badak. So keeping Plum off the board for the moment. 2 down. And the Riverhawks trying to get those final couple strikes here and get into the dugout. Maybe take those last licks and see if they can't put some together. Throwing his bat out, trying to lay down a bunt. To no avail right there. That was the younger Kemmerer, I believe. I don't want to missay his name, but I was going over their roster, and I believe that is Braden. Yes, the sophomore. So Braden Kemmerer, the sophomore, getting a plate appearance, and we got trouble. Plum tacks 2 more on. Base knock. 2 runners in scoring position. Braden Kemmerer delivers a 2-run single, make it 13-4 Plum. And just when it seems like the Riverhawks are getting a little closer, chipping away at that lead, boy, don't the Mustangs come right back and take those 2 runs right back, stick them in their pocket. Good pinch hit appearance right there by Braden Kemmerer. Obviously, you've heard me call Brother Cole's name numerous times throughout this broadcast. And in there for a strike. A fastball upper third there by Wright. And, oh, look at that. Braden Kemmerer is going to get a stolen base out of his time in the lineup today. A pinch hit 2-run single And now Steele second base. Lafferty at the plate. He's 1 for 3 today for the Mustangs. Oh, got to change that score. Sorry about that. Sleeping at the switch. Or asleep at the switch, I guess the saying goes. Where is it? There it is. So make it 13-4. Oh man, I had that all wrong. Sorry about that. I thought I had updated Armstrong. Apologies. And now right. Facing Lafferty. Oh, excuse me. That was not Kemmerer that got the stolen base as Lafferty walks. That was actually Walker that came in to pinch run after Lafferty got the run-scoring single. Let's find the young man's first name. Logan Walker into pinch run after, for Kemmerer. And another base hit, and is there a play at the plate? No, there is not. Cut off, and that'll make it a 10-run lead for the Mustangs. 14-4. So a 10-run advantage here for the visiting Plum Mustangs. First section game of the 2024 season. Right, that ball low, and just reaching back to pick it there was Mills. Nice play. I think he might have been expecting something else in a different location, and Mills just kind of stuck a knife out there, able to stab that ball and keep it from going to the backstop. Here's Wright missing outside. At the plate, Franzi, we get to see Franzi deliver that big shot out here to the left center field fence. Came up a little bit short of the fence, but I mean, he put a charge into a pitch by Delano, and that was, one of the early game icebreakers. So now Mills out to have a quick conversation with his pitcher. And Wright saying a little something to him as he walks back, and I think that the conversation might not have been done yet. It's always best to let the pitcher end it right there. You're the catcher in that situation. You kind of start walking away, but you're looking back, and you're like, you done? You done? All right, cool. Usually, just let the pitcher end those. And that ball zipped in there by Wright. Boy, that velocity looked higher than what we've been seeing over the past few batters. As Franzi takes that strike on the outside corner, right? Again, that ball ripped foul down the third baseline, and I think Wright took a little something off that one. It just kind of had just a different release, just a shade different, and that usually comes to how you're gripping the ball and how if that was a true palm ball changeup, which again can't see it, but the way it acted and the way that his arm release was, see, that's a curveball. And how does he? Oh, they're saying it came in over the top. Oh man, I would not be pleased about that if I were on the hill. Braden Wright, he thought he had a strike. I don't necessarily blame him. That ball in there perfectly to Franzi. So now a 3-1 count, and Wright misses high. Another walk surrendered by the Armstrong pitching staff today. Check the box score real fast. And, man, it's one of those things where it's, you're just trying so hard to make the perfect pitch, and you just miss. And looks like Coach Santelmo is out. And will we get a change? Yes, we will. Oh, it's... well, again, no, he's coming out right there. Okay, so Wright is walking off the field. So his night is done. 2 2/3, 6 hits, 8 runs, none of them are earned. Ouch. 5 walks. Again, that's a number that hurts. And 3 strikeouts. Only 3 runs allowed tonight by Armstrong pitching were earned. And coming in for the Riverhawks, let's just slide her back there to the game stream. Well, I don't know. Can't see a number. The sun is directly in my face. It's double digits. So let's take a quick break. Quick commercial from one of our great sponsors. And I'll try and figure out who's on the hill for these Mustangs as they try and close out section victory number 1 on the year. My name is Josh Rettengost. I'll be right back. Welcome back to High Top Sports Network. Josh Rettengost. Wagaman finished throwing his warm-up pitches, trying to get the final out here in the 7th. Plum not going away quietly. It is now 14-4. And just trying to see some stats on Wagaman. Obviously, only one game to speak of so far for the Riverhawks. That non-conference victory over Freeport last Friday. Oh, yeah. Woo. You see, back in my younger days, back when High Top was just brand new, just like a newborn baby, I didn't realize just how windy it got up here, and I would have cameras and tripods, kind of like, well, maybe let's just say that they weren't necessarily properly secured. And I lost one time down over here. But I didn't lose the camera. I lost the tripod. Which, hey, if you have a choice, you're going to lose the tripod every day. You can get one of those for $30. The cameras are a bit more pricey. So after, said tripod went down over, I thought, well, I'm never coming here without bungees or something to tie these cameras down. I'm going to let you guess how many bungees are in my equipment bags. If there is one in there, it's because Joe Rhodes put it in. Because I did not think of it. And that's a problem when you get up here and think, boy, I should have brought that. I have that feeling about 7 times per broadcast from this situation. Oh, boy, that ball gets away and goes to the backstop. In from third base without a play. Plum puts another run on the board as Lafferty cruises home. 15-4. Riverhawks trail now. So Wagaman, oh, man, that's a tough one. First pitch. Just held on to it a little bit too long, it looked like, and zipped it across the outside corner. And, well, the far outside corner. I mean, that's what he was shooting for, but got away. Like I said, it kind of looked like he was maybe just holding it a bit too long. Swing and a miss right there, so a good pitch. And defensive indifference. Right there's Franzi. Didn't have to slide, but I always like to see my uniform dirty, so. Oh, dropping it in there nicely. And that was like kind of a 3/4 delivery right there by Wagaman. Just not straight sidearm, but just kind of just under around that 3/4 arm slot. And he kind of oh boy, strike 3, got him, ring him up. That is a Steffi's Country Catering backwards K. Finally got one tonight. And make sure you check out Steffi's online. Facebook, just search Terry Steffi. And I don't know if... I feel like maybe you can get Easter. You can still order Easter. I'm going to check it out. I always tell Terry, I just, I kind of, always repeat what's going on the website. And then generally that ends up with me purchasing. most usually Sunday takeout. But we're going to check out. I know the Easter deadline was coming up soon. So I just want to give the proper information. Don't want to be telling tales out of school, as they say. Facebook. Let's log in here. Oh, gotta love that two-factor authentic. What is it? Authentication. I was gonna say authentication. Not a word. Okay, hold on here. Really? I don't want to see all this, but kind of just want to see a hat. What? Someone recently tried to log into your account from an unrecognized computer. That was me. Oh, man. Well, yeah, that's okay. Alrighty, action about to get underway. Top of the 7th. Excuse me, bottom of the 7th. I don't know why I said top. Riverhawks 3 outs away from feeling that first section loss of the year here to these visiting Mustangs of Plum. And that ball ripped, but right at the shortstop. Nice pick there by Domkowski. Fires across and gets out number 1. Boy, Logan Badak hit that on the screws. Put a one-hopper right to Domkowski, and he zipped it across. Badak hustling all the way, but out by about a step and a half. Good to see Logan just run through bases and not get hurt. Last year, just a freak injury. First at bat of the season. Playing up at Indiana, and he hyperextended that knee as he was trying to run through first base. And I'll tell you what, once you do that, it's in the back of your mind. You can forget about it. There'll be games you'll run down to first base, you won't think about it, but it's always kind of in the back of your mind. It's like, man, I definitely I don't think I ever really hyperextended mine. I definitely turned it. Went over top of it with full body weight, but I don't think I ever hyperextended it. But it's a scary scene. And that ball fouled back. So quickly ahead in the count. Down 15-4 here. Riverhawks gonna need a miracle in this one. And that ball, didn't pull the trigger and ring him. Not sure. That looked pretty darn good. And Braden Kemmerer on the mound here. And Wagaman to the left side. Picked up at third, fire across on the run, and got him. Wagaman out by a step and a half right there. So Armstrong down to their final out. Riverhawks cannot hit that proverbial 9-run home run that I was talking about a little bit earlier. My old Legion coach used to say to us, there's no use over swinging It's not like you can hit a 9-run homer, and the Riverhawks, I'm sure they've been told something similar by the astute baseball mind that is Vincent Santelmo. Vinny, a baseball lifer, to say the very least. He's been around the game for a very long time and knows it extremely well. And that ball on the corner, Braden Kemmerer finds it. And on a 2-0 pitch, Rory Brashear makes a nice one. Delivered that right on the corner. 2-1, and it misses outside there to Brashear, so count in the advantage of the young Riverhawk, who I thought we might see him on the hill today, but no dice. 3-1 pitch is upstairs, and Brashear will draw the walk. And the game continues. It ain't over till it's over. You know, there's a lot of sayings like that, axioms, they call them, in sports. You know, it ain't over till it's over. It ain't over till the fat lady sings. But, you know, sometimes when you look at the score and it says 15-4 and you have 1 out left in the last inning, of course you don't want to believe it's over, but oh boy, that one on the ground there to shortstop, picked up, and the force at second base, and that will do it. And it is officially over. Plum comes into Armstrong, hangs 15 on the Riverhawks. Armstrong pitching, having some trouble finding the plate today. It was not a particularly effective day for the Riverhawks in the pitching department. You keep giving a team like Plum extra chances and extra base runners, they will cash in. And that is exactly what those Mustangs did today. Well, we're going to make a quick sign off today. As I said, folks, just getting underway here, just jumping out of basketball mode and into baseball mode. So, plenty of cool things on the horizon this season. Make sure you stay tuned to our website and social media. Let you know what we're doing, what we're up to, where we're going to be. Tomorrow, I believe we have some softball on deck. So looking forward to that. Hopefully the weather holds. There's some rain in the forecast, but maybe we'll get lucky. Recapping the final score here, 15-4 Plum over Armstrong. That's going to do it for me, Josh Reckengast, here on High